Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from the Black Business School and the Black Wealth Boot Camp. I just got back from Atlanta. The Black Economic Empowerment Tour. It's sold out, and so we're really excited about that. We're actually preparing to do some stuff in Chicago. The next scheduled event is actually in Chicago on March 26th, and you can actually get tickets at drboycechicago.eventbrite.com. Eventbrite is spelled Brite. So Dr. Boyce Chicago at eventbrite.com. Anyway, one of the things I wanted to talk about is all this hoopla, all this excitement around the presidential election. Every time there's an election, black folks are considered an important voting bloc. We are, to some extent, some would say we're like political whores, in the sense that we're the people that other people lean on and depend on, but don't expect to do much for. And that's because since we were released from slavery, we have yet to really develop the political sophistication that other people have. In the sense that, and let me explain. Not, it doesn't say black people are not smart. We're very smart people, but unfortunately, sometimes we can be manipulated by some of these politicians. And it really no differently from the way Donald Trump is manipulating all these angry white men and getting them to believe in his nonsense or whatever. We got this thing where we somehow think that it matters whether Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders gets into the White House, because black folks tend to be very loyal to the Democratic Party, which is pretty much because we have no other options. There are a lot of black people who choose not to vote. And actually, these are not dumb people. W.E.B. Du Bois said, "I'm not going to vote. If you give me two bad options, I'm not going to choose either one. You're not going to force me to make a choice when you haven't really given me a choice." That and I know it sounds like I'm just irritated by this idea, but it makes me angry that white people pretty much say, well, it's like you saying I'm hungry and somebody saying, well, do you want to eat this mouse or do you want to eat this cell phone? Which one do you want? Which one tastes better? You're like, I don't want to eat either one. I don't want to eat that shit. Give me some food. Give me something meaningful, right? So ultimately, we've sort of been manipulated into this idea that says you have to vote, so you better choose which white person we put in front of you, right? And so ultimately, we get into this stupid game where we somehow think that the white person who gets into the White House is going to somehow change our lives in a meaningful way. Now, we had a biracial president, President Obama, who's half white, half black. Um, Black people's lives have not changed. Actually, many say, that black people's lives have actually gotten worse. Why? Well, because America was built on a system that was not really designed to show much favor to black people in the first place. If you really want to understand the history of all this, go read Dr. Claude Anderson's book, Black Labor, White Wealth. Black Labor, White Wealth. Because that book will break it down for you. It'll break it down for you that America has always put a scarlet letter, meaning they have always singled out black people as the most hated, most maligned group of people in the country. We're not treated like the immigrants from Asia and the Middle East and all these other places. When they come over here, they're pretty much told, stay away from the niggas. The niggas are stupid. The niggas are horrible. Get away from them. They'll hurt you. The media feeds these images of us as these savages. And so ultimately, we end up becoming the pariah of this country. As a result, we are also put at the bottom of the priority list when it comes to these politicians, but they understand that their hatred for us, the fact that their serious disrespect for us, is in contradiction to the fact that they have these false ideas of liberty and justice for all and equality and all this other nonsense, right? So what happens? Well, black people have votes like everybody else, so they say, okay, I don't really like these black people very much. I don't have much respect for them, but they got these votes, and we need to go around here and get these votes. How do we get these votes from these black people? Well, let's manipulate them. If I'm Hillary Clinton, I'm going to go on stage with Roland Martin and do the nay-nay, because I know black people like to see people dance, and they think that if we dance with them, that we're their friends. It's no different from when her husband Bill Clinton played the saxophone on Arsenio back in 1992. You see Bernie Sanders cooning. I saw Bernie Sanders doing a dance. He's got Killer Mike out here on the campaign trail for him, which I think is not a good look for Killer Mike. You're supposed to be anti-establishment. You're supposed to be this hardcore rapper, and here you are. You become somebody's political operative. That's very different from simply endorsing somebody. When you just endorse somebody, you just say, "Hey, you know what? I'm not getting involved in all of that. I'm not working for you. I'm not your boy. But you know what? You seem like a good dude. I'll tell people who support me that I think that you're a good dude too." I wouldn't mind doing something like that. But the reason you won't hear me make formal endorsements, the reason that I refuse, you show us hell ain't gonna see me on the campaign trail for nobody. If you ever see me on the campaign trail for a politician, understand that it is because I have soul searched and I found a reason to deeply believe in what this politician is saying. Right now, America ain't ready to do justice for black folks. Even Bernie Sanders, as wonderful as some people think he is, this guy won't even support the idea of reparations. How can you look at America that has had the most racist, most torturous slavery system in the history of the world, 400 years? No group of people has ever been enslaved that long in world history. 400 years of the most brutal, most abusive form of torture known to man. How can you look at those people who went through this, where white people still hold that wealth? They still got that money in their pocket. They still got that land. They still have those assets. That hasn't gone away. How can you see all of this, claim that you're a friend of the black man, and then say, "Oh, well, I can't support reparations"? That's like telling somebody who was raped, murdered, and had their money stolen that they deserve no form of compensation, that the best you can do is say, "We ain't gonna rape and murder you no more." Get out of my face with that, man. You're not what black people need. You're not somebody that I, as a black man, can wake up and have some sort of hope for, like, Lordy B, Bernie Sanders about ready to save me. No, I'm sorry. I don't feel that way. Maybe in 100 years, we'll have a politician who actually is not afraid to tell the truth. Now I understand why Bernie's got to tell some lies. Bernie's dealing with other white people. He's surrounded by white people who have no respect for black people. So maybe deep down in his heart, he wants to do more. Maybe he cares a little more than what he says. Maybe he's sort of accommodating this voter base who says, "Yeah, you can do a little bit for the Negroes, but not too much, because we don't like those people," right? Maybe he's dealing with all of this. But I don't care. I don't care why you're doing what you're doing. I don't care about the reasons why you're not doing the right thing. All I notice is that you're not doing the right thing. So, and I don't even talk about Hillary Clinton, because she ain't nowhere near being what black folks need. Hillary Clinton is about as establishment driven as anybody you've ever seen. And here's the thing. If you look at incentives, if you are incentivized by a corporate structure that is historically racist and oppressive toward people of color, and you're also sort of catering to these moderate whites who don't have much respect for black people, then how in the hell you, as a politician who's pretty much a bellwether for public opinion, meaning they pretty much do what their supporters, their financial backers tell them to do, how can we really expect you to deviate from your support base and truly do what's right for black people? So my conclusion is that when I'm watching this whole election process go down, I see black people being manipulated by the same old okie doke. I see people looking at us and saying, I really want those votes. How can I play with the minds of these people? Well, they're forgiving and compassionate. That's why the white man ain't never respected you. That's why the white man has never respected you, because you forgive every damn thing that happens to you. You will let people piss all over you, and then you will say, "Well, Jesus told me that I shouldn't be holding no grudges." Well, understand that the white man fed you all that nonsense so that you would forgive him when he comes in there and rapes your wife. Okay, that starts back during slavery. Okay, because there's a reason black people were selected for slavery and other groups of people were not. Other groups of people would fight to the death if you tried to enslave them. Other groups of people would hold a grudge and come up in your house and slit your throat in the middle of the night if you humiliate their family in a certain way. Black people, because we were sucked away from our homeland in a place we didn't know, uh, we and also because we were fed all this, all this passivity, all this religion, this nonviolent stuff. We are the most forgiving group of people ever. And the thing about it is, in this world, that's not going to get you very far. So every time you want to just do like the rapper Common was, no disrespect to Common, I like this guy. You know, he's a Chicago guy. God bless him. But you know, he goes on white folk on TV in front of white folks and says, well, we need to just forgive and let the past be the past. You know, every time you start doing that. Every time you show some desire to be passive, even though other people have been aggressive toward you, what you're really doing is you're sending a signal that says, exploit me. I am your political and economic whore. And what does that mean? If you think about the way a whore operates, I use that term deliberately now, not just to be sensationalist. I use that term deliberately because if you think about the way a quote unquote whore or a prostitute operates, or not a prostitute, because a prostitute will at least get their money. I'm talking about a side chick. Let's call it a side chick. That's probably a better term, right? The way a side chick might operate is is in this sense. Um, I expect if I have a side chick, I expect her to be really loyal to me, but I'm not going to be loyal to her. You understand that the loyalty is asymmetric. It goes in one direction. So ultimately, black people, we are the political whores of America. The Democratic Party, these white liberals, this white Superman that you've been waiting for the last 400 years, who ain't coming, who ain't came, who ain't nowhere near coming. Um, they expect us to be loyal. And when we're disloyal, when we start to show a capacity to have our own opinion, when we start to go in our own direction, they look at you and they say, "You ungrateful ass niggas! All the stuff we done did for you, you won't support our gay rights movement. Well, this is just like your civil rights movement. Well, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Black people's experience in America is unique. It is individually horrific. Slavery was called the peculiar institution for a reason. Peculiar meaning very odd, very rare. It was called peculiar because it was not like anything else anybody had ever seen anywhere in the world. So ultimately, our experience in this country has been unique. And until a politician is able to acknowledge the uniqueness of what we went through and stop lumping us in with other immigrant groups, stop lumping us in with everybody who's not a white male, from gay people to women to handicapped people. No, 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 no. No, we are descendants of slaves. We are owed reparations. We are owed respect. None of these politicians are giving you that. I don't know if one will ever come, but my point of view on all of this is I truly don't care who wins the Democratic nomination. I truly don't care who wins the White House. All I care about is that black people come together, we work together, we build, and we fight. We stand up for what is ours, we protect what is ours, we build wealth, we control our money, and we engage in the world that is built on global economic and political warfare. That's the world in which you live. This whole forgiveness, Lordy B world that you think you live in, that's nonsense. That's not America. And I hate saying this. If you don't believe me, just look at how many black men get shot down by the police. Look at how many black people get ostracized. Look at how black men are consistently emasculated to the point where they can't provide for their wives and children. Look at how many black people are incarcerated. Look at how horrible our school systems are. And none of these politicians are going to be able to do anything about it. Not just because they themselves can't see the depth of the problem, but because the people that they pray to, the people that they get their support from, are never going to see you as their equal. They're at least not in this lifetime. So I don't care about 2016. I just really don't. So that's my opinion. Do what you will with it. Feel free to disagree. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins. Take care, guys, and don't forget, we're taking we're showing my new film, Resurrecting Black Wall Street: The Blueprint. It was created by award-winning director Dorian Chandler. We're going to do a world premiere in Chicago on March 26th. If you can come, I don't care what. We've had people come as far away as Australia to come to our events. So wherever you are in the world, if you want to come to Chicago, please come out. I hope you will. I'll give you a big hug when I see you. Of course, I'll sign your book and all this, and everything else. And I look forward to seeing you there. You can find out more at drboycechicago.eventbrite.com. And Eventbrite is spelled Brite. drboycechicago.eventbrite.com. So take care, guys, and I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.